But away from what the clause is speaking about, Honorable Farah.
Chair, I'm just wondering, why do we have foreigners? Why do we need foreigners to manage our beaches? Why do you have to have foreigners in the beach management units? There's no need. I mean, the Honorable Deputy Majority Leader said that there are no Somalis from Somalia who are doing fishing. Once you have seen, must have come from
The
Garissa.
chairperson, this question is directed at you.
You can't discriminate them on account of the fact that they're Somalis. No. So we should not have foreigners. Why do you want your beaches to be run by foreigners?
Yes,
in any
Chairperson.
case, the foreigner needs to have a residence permit or a work permit and all those ones. Would he be given a residence permit because he is a member of the beach management unit? No, I haven't finished, Mary. Can you just give me time? Would the immigration be giving somebody residence or even or a work permit because he's a member of the beach management unit in somewhere in Migori beaches? You know what I mean? So the very idea of having foreigners in there is wrong. So that amendment should be struck off. Leave it the way it is.
Yes, the Honorable Millie Mabona.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, maybe just to inform Honorable Farah.
The Honorable Mishi Mboko, after Millie, you are recognized.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I just wanted to inform Honorable Farah that actually in my constituency, we have many foreigners, including Somalis who are not Kenyan Somalis. We have Kenyan Somalis, but we also have non-Kenyan Somalis. But we also have, there was a point in Ringiti Island, the person who was almost in charge of the island is a lady called Annette from Uganda. She's since gone back to Uganda. But what's happening, Chair, is because of the loose nature of management, there have been no clear regulation. But having said that, Chair, what I'm proposing is the language that Karoli is suggesting, which is or other officially recognized form of identification for non-citizens. I mean for citizens of other countries, not non-citizens. So using the constitutional language, so that we are not, for Kenyans, we use the identification ID card, but for citizens of other countries who are in Kenya and who are fishing legally, actually the highest number of investors in fishing in my constituency is Somali from Kenya and Somali from out, and also...
Yes, the Honorable Farah Maalim.
There is no Somali from Somalia doing fishing. I've been to your place there. All those Somalis you see there are Kenyan Somalis. And there's no way a foreigner can come in there and do fishing and become a member of a beach management unit when the legal status of the person itself is not there. But the person has got to have a legal status. The legal status is staying in this country is either you are a citizen or you are on a residence permit or you are on a work permit. You get my point? And nobody is going to get a work permit because he is a member of a beach management unit. Inform me.
Yes, Chairperson.
Honorable Chair, there are foreigners in our country who are doing legal fishing. They have been licensed to fish. But as a part of social corporate responsibility, there is about BMUs. There is about, because before this bill, BMUs, they were not anywhere. They were just on their own. There is about BMUs because the BMUs nearby. And these BMUs, what they do sometimes, they co-opt them as a member because so that when they are having their meetings, they co-opt them because they help them with repairing of their boats and those kind of things. So by so doing, that's why we are saying, if, for instance, start foreign national and he's part of, he's co-opted.
Chairperson, are you going on record? No. Are you going on record as saying Kenya licenses foreigners to do fishing in our waters?
Yes.
Yes, the Honorable Millie conclude.
Yes, Chair. I was actually, before Honorable Farah raised the point of order, I was actually going to say we have nothing against foreigners, actually, whether they are Somalis from Somali, Chinese. Right now, the highest number of investors actually are Somalis from Kenya, in my constituency. No, I'm not stopping at that, because we even have Chinese, and there is a possibility of Somalis from outside, because there are Somalis who don't speak Swahili. Those are not Somalis from Kenya. But we don't discriminate, we welcome them. Chair, can you please indulge me by listening? This amendment is not about leadership in the BMUs. I had actually explained that the challenge that we face is just what Honorable Farah is saying. We have people who stay in those beach management units. If you go to a place like Litare Beach, during the day you think there are no people, but there are thousands of people who live there. But when they come out, because there is no record, even if somebody died, we don't know where to take them because we have no record. I've given an example of somebody who died in Ringiti Island. We took the old man to Rangwe. We didn't know who he is. So we need this record. But no, it's you who can move, because now you are the one moving this amendment. Karoli, please, if you can give the word from the Constitution.
Yes, so
yes.
Honorable members, order honorable members. Order honorable members. Just for direction before Honorable Mishimboko has her last comment on this clause. This is what the clause is dealing with. Let me just read it for clarity so that we relate what we are commenting on to the clause. It says, the Cabinet Secretary may, for purposes of ensuring structured community participation in fisheries management, make regulations for the management of beach management units established by the county governments. And then in subclause 2, it specifies issues among which the regulations contemplated may relate to. Just that. So could you make comments aware that this is not about, properly speaking, this is not about what I see on the side note as establishment of the beach management units, but a regulation making authority in the Cabinet Secretary concerned. Yes, the Honorable Mishimboko.
Asante, Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, ni vizuri sana umetufafanulia, na niseme nimeunga mkono mageuzi haya madogo ambayo yameletwa na mwenyekiti wa kamati husika, na niseme ya kwamba ni kweli hata tukiangalia kule kwetu Pwani kama sehemu ya Msembweni pale ambapo kunaitwa Gasi, pale kuna BMU, na unaona utapata kuna wavuvi wengi ambao wanatoka katika nchi jirani kutoka Tanzania, wale ambao tunawaita Wapemba. Vile vile pia kwa Mheshimiwa Owen kule kwa Kilifi, kuna wavuvi wengi ambao wako pale na wametoka sehemu ya Tanzania wanaitwa Wapemba na wako pale, na kuweza kujua na kupata stakabadhi zao na kujua wale ambao wana uraia na wale ambao hawana uraia wa Kenya ni muhimu sana. Kwa hivyo mimi ningesema haya mambo yapo na tumeyaona kila sehemu. Kuna wavuvi ambao ni raia wa Kenya na kuna wale ambao si raia wa Kenya, na haswa kama kule Gasi, wavuvi ambao pia wanasaidia hao wavuvi wetu kwa sababu wako na zile boti kubwa kubwa ambazo zinaweza kuvua samaki wengi na wako na vifaa vile vya kisasa. Ni wavuvi ambao wanatoka nchini Tanzania wa jamii ya Kipemba. Kwa hivyo wanaunga mkono yale mageuzi ya Mheshimiwa mwenyekiti.
Yes, the Honorable Farah Maalim, lastly.
Chair, we are legislating. We are legislating for generations to come. You allow Chinese and other foreigners to come and be part of our beach management units?
Yeah.
This order, these are commercial people who are coming. They can have a corporate social responsibility with a beach management unit. They can even be invited into those meetings because these are big buyers of our fish. But you cannot put them into the policy making and the management of our beaches and be part of the beach management units. So essentially, the issue of foreigners, I do understand what Mili's concerns are. Mili is concerned that people come from, I haven't come from Garissa, but they will probably come from somewhere in Ganze. They stay in that place, they marry a Luo lady, and you never know when the person dies because you do not have anything to indicate where he came from. You have no problem. You have a problem taking him to his home area. Okay, the home area, that's when the ID cards are going to express that. You can see in the ID card his home area. So maintain the, oh no, can I just finish? You can maintain the ID cards, but to have foreigners being part of a beach management unit, this is the smallest unit. Very soon you'll be saying, we want people also to be involved in the roasting of maize, the management of that, and you will get Chinese coming in there. In any case, we cannot afford to give such a thing to people who are, you know what I'm talking about.
Honorable members, let me guide. No, just take your seat. Just take your seat. You know, clause 36, if you look at the side notes, was supposed to establish beach management units and to empower the cabinet secretary to make regulations for their administration, and maybe mention a brief of the matters that will go to those regulations. Now, as drawn here, it did not establish the beach management units. And so the amendments by the chair, number one, are establishing the beach management units. If you look at the amendment proposed by the chair at clause 36B1A, you see the beach management units being established. Then the chair, in addition to cleaning up to ensure we have women and children, not just women, and to integrate persons with disabilities, is talking about a proposal to have a record of members and residents of the beach management unit showing the national identification numbers or other officially recognized form of identification. Now, it concludes by for foreigners. Honorable Farah is saying for foreigners ought to be deleted chair. And Honorable Farah is saying that is so because work permits are only given for foreigners to be in the country to do things Kenyans cannot do. And without debating, I think Honorable Farah is right. And so Honorable Farah is saying you end your amendment at Roman 3 at identification, delete for foreigners. I have not given you the mic. You are granted.
Thank you.
The mic.
You see, Chair, why do we have beach management unit? Because we want to regulate, we want to manage the fishing, we want to manage many things. Now, foreigners come. If and when they do not belong to a beach management unit, they do their own things and actually spoil the environment because they're not bound by the rules of that beach management unit. For them to register, it means they are actually registering to agree to the terms of fishing within the community of fishermen in that area. Now, I want to give you an example. And Chair here will bear with me. I have some of the very strong BMUs in my place. So we have Kenyan Pemba, and I want to correct to add what Kenyan Pemba community, who actually belong to that beach management unit. And therefore, everything they do is regulated by the beach management because they manage the beach and manage everything. What net you will use, what boat you will use, the time to go for fishing, how you clean, how you sell, all those kind of things are regulated. Then you have Pembas from Tanzania who are actually given license to come and fish. But when they come, they refuse to belong to the beach management unit or to operate under the beach management unit of that location. So what do? They use whatever net they want. They bring fish and sell the way they want. They do all manner of things. And because they do not belong to the beach management unit, the beach management unit leadership cannot enforce the rules. So my proposal is that every foreigner who comes to fish within the waters of Kenya must be registered within the beach management unit and actually ensure that they abide by the rules of the beach management unit. And that is why we are saying foreigners must also register for that beach management unit. If they are Chinese, when they come to Malindi, because there are very many Malindi fishing in the high waters, when they come, you know what they do? They pick eggs, they pick small fish, they pick everything and destroy everything there. And they go to high seas and say, you know, we don't belong to your beach management unit, so you cannot impose rules on us. Foreigners must be registered within the beach and must operate under the rules of the beach management unit of that area.
Honorable Owen, this provision, you know, members, I'm only doing this because we are in the committee of the whole. This provision does not talk about registration of foreigners. It says the beach management unit shall keep a record of members and residents of the beach management unit showing the national identification numbers or other officially recognized form of identification for foreigners. A record of members and residents. And so the question that Honorable Farah was asking is, should foreigners be members of the beach management units in Kenya, or we should have beach management units of Kenyans setting regulations and standards to be abided by everybody, whether you are a foreigner or local, and enforcing the standards?
Can I explain, Chair?
Yes.
What I'm saying, we're not far apart. We have exclusive economic zone that is 200 nautical miles. Exclusive economic zone. We have national territorial waters that are 12 miles. That is, we cannot stop navigation in the exclusive economic zones, but we cannot allow somebody else to come and take advantage of the economy. The wealth that's there belongs to us. So when the Chinese come, it is upon the government of Kenya, through the Coast Guard, through the Navy, through the police, to arrest them, take them to court, confiscate their catch, as well as confiscate their... Can I explain it? Can I explain it? Can I explain it? So in other words, you're saying, in other words, what the Deputy Majority Leader is saying, these people steal our things, let us include them in here so that they cannot steal and we register them. No, hang on. That's tantamount to say...
Honorable Farah Maalim has the mic. Yes, you have the mic.
Yes, that is tantamount to say... Millie, wait, you'll inform me. That is tantamount to saying, because there are robbers in Nairobi who are difficult to catch, let us co-opt some of the robbers into the police force so that they can register them. You get my point? They can register them and deter them from robbing because there are robbers inside.
Yes.
In other words, you're saying the only way we can save ourselves from the pillaging and the exploitation being done by the Chinese is let's have them in the inside. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. And then Owen is running away. Why are you running away, Owen? No, you're not making sense, Owen. Owen, you want to sell your own national sovereignty to Chinese, Owen, please. Something is wrong with you. Yes.
Yes, Honorable Millie Odhiambo. This will be the last, then we put the matter to decision.
Chair, I think in many ways we're actually raising valid concerns. I'm listening to the members, and what Honorable Farah is actually saying is actually 3/4 of this bill. This 3/4 of this bill, that's why I was saying it's even very ocean focused. And it talks about people who are fishing in those high seas, even the right of, what do you call it, when you purchase people who have gone...
hot pursuit.
Yeah, hot pursuit, right of hot pursuit. All that is in this bill. It's actually 3/4 of this bill. So that is actually provided. However, what we were actually looking for here, the mischief we are trying to cure, is not even these investors who come to invest and everything, but we are saying when you have a beach management unit, which is a very clear one, I've been mentioning so many here. I'm mentioning Ringiti, Remba, Kiumba, etc., etc. They are very specific beach management gazetted, and they are gazetted. There are residents, people who live there, and there are also leadership of those BMUs. We even know them by name, and they have a structure. As we've been talking here, I've been consulting my chairman for the constituency, Mr. Oremo. They have very clear structures. I have a woman, Irene.
Oremo is actually for the Homa Bay.
For the Homa Bay. Sorry, for Homa Bay, not for Nene. Pardon? Farah. Yes, it's called Farah for the Homa Bay. And I have, even for my constituencies, a woman, Irene. They are doing an amazing job. But the issue is, and the challenges that they sometimes face, is that within those management units, because of the way fishing is actually nomadic, which people don't know. Fishing is nomadic by nature. The same, yeah, it's migratory. People come, yeah? People come today, 2 weeks later, like we are dealing now with many IDs of people we don't know. They come, they even issue the IDs, they have gone. We don't know who they are. But some of them come and commit crimes. We can't trace them, we don't know who they are. Some of them die. We can't take them home, we don't know who they are. So most of the BMU leadership have asked, can we find a law that says we need to know who is around us? Most of them are called Baba Bobby, Toto, Siji what, Baba Junior. Who is Baba Junior? We need to know you by name. Who are you? Where do you come from? If you die, we want to take you home. So it's not really about foreigners. So one of the ways, Chair, that we deal with is either to delete the issue of for foreigners or to use the word that Karoli was suggesting. So me, I would encourage the Chair, just delete for foreigners. Because we are not focusing on foreigners on this one. The foreigners are very heavily covered. The big industrial whatever are covered. 3/4 of this bill is about them.
Yes, Honorable Farah.
I think we are getting somewhere. The beach management unit itself must keep record of all the people who operate there. Yeah. All the people, the ID cards,
whether they are citizens.
Whether they're citizens or not, they must keep that, because that way you can even know whether these people...
Then that is catered for in the provision.
Yes.
Honorable members, I therefore do now put the question that clause 36 be amended as proposed.
Yes, as amended, further amended, Honorable Chair. Yes, to delete for foreigners.
But it means also understand that if you move it that way, you will not keep a record of residents who are foreigners. So, because all residents includes citizens and non-citizens.
Yes.
Yes. Honorable members, I now put the question that clause 36 of the bill be amended as proposed by the chairperson of the relevant committee. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, I now put the question that clause 36 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable, that is Honorable Nabuin. You want to say something to clause 36?
Chair, allow me to say something. You know, you rightly put it that once we omit the word foreign, we will only be collecting information for nationals. Yes. Exactly. That's what you are ruling.
No. No.
Allow us.
Honorable member, number one, it is penned. Number two, the clause as amended will read a record of members and residents of the beach management unit showing the national identification numbers or other officially recognized form of identification. That is how it will read.
No.
Residents include citizens and non-citizens. So it will include your concern. Let us move forward. Honorable members. No, Chairperson, let us make progress.
Clause 37.
Honorable members, I propose the question that clause 37 be part of the bill. Honorable members, there being no amendments, I put the question that clause 37 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 38.
Honorable members, I propose the question that clause 38 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Honorable Chair, I propose that clause 38 be amended as per the order paper, and the amendment seeks to provide for declaration of a designated fisheries to be by the Cabinet Secretary, which is in line with the role of the Cabinet Secretary in declaration of designated fisheries in other provisions of this Act.
Honorable members, I propose the question that clause 38 be amended as proposed by the Chairperson. Yes, you have an amendment. If the amendment by the Chairperson is carried, Honorable Mili, your amendments in terms of subclause 3, 4, and 5 will fall. You will remain with amendments in terms of subclause 1 and the new subclauses 8, J, and K.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, again, I want to thank the chairman of the committee because they have adopted my proposed amendments. Again, they have provided for designated areas for cage fishing and artisanal fishers so that you don't just have people just putting cages anywhere and everywhere. The only one I don't agree with them, but in the spirit of give and take and let go, is I was actually giving the authority to the counties, but they've given it back to the Cabinet Secretary. In the spirit of give and take, and I think the committee has done very well, I'll let it